Ba-dum. Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I am your host, Banjo Ben, here on the website that teaches you how to play banjo, guitar, and mandolin. What a great lesson we have today. This is fundamental for learning how to play guitar. We're going to knock out lots of different things on this lesson. I get so many questions about scales and things like that, and I know that scales are important, but they're also boring. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to teach you G scale. I'm going to teach you a couple different ways to play it, but not only that, I'm going to increase your speed. The second biggest question I get is about speed. Okay, so I'm giving you a great exercise here. So let me tell you what we're going to do over there on the website. I'm going to teach you how to play an open G scale and back down, okay, two octave scale. And then we're going to learn how to play a closed G scale, which is where we play through the G scale without using any open strings. Let me tell you why that's great, because then once you know that, you can take it anywhere and play any scale, any major scale you want. You can carry it up here. And we'll talk about that, how to move it around. I just played a C scale with the same exact pattern. But to top it off, we're going to learn how to do a circular scale. Okay, all the way up 2 measures, 2 octaves, and all the way back down. This is one of my biggest warm-up exercises whenever I want to work on my speed or just get loosened up. So if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, here in a moment I'll ask you to go over to the website, BanjoBenClark.com, where you can join as a Gold Pick member to watch the videos and download all the tabs. I've got this tab. It's a 2-page tab in both PDF and TEF file format, and about a 25-minute video lesson over there. So let's dive in without further ado. Let's dive into the open G scale. The first thing we're going to concentrate on is learning the open G scale. Then we're going to learn the closed G scale, and I will explain what that is as we get into that video segment. And then we're going to end it with a really great speed building exercise called a circular scale. Okay, but we're going to start out with this open scale. Let's go ahead and throw the tab up down there. This is a 2-octave G scale, and what I mean by an open scale is that we're going to use some open strings as we play up through the scale. We're going to start down on our lowest G note that we can get, which is the 3rd fret of the low E string. Now if you look at each one of those notes, not only do I have the pick strokes written beneath each one, but I also have the fingerings written. So that very first note, we have our 3rd fret on the low E string, but it's played with our 2nd finger. You see that number 2 with the circle around it? That means we play it with our 2nd finger. And if you'll notice, all these notes are downstrokes. We just want to concentrate on getting the right notes first, and then we'll go into alternate picking here in just a minute or two. So let's start on this low G note with the downstroke, playing it with our middle finger on the low E string. Good. Now the next note's an open A string. Our next note's the 2nd fret on the A string. We're going to play it with our index or our 1st finger. Then we've got our 3rd fret on the A string. Then we're just going to keep going up, measure 2. We got our open D string. And we've got our 2nd fret. Then we're going to use our ring finger this time to play the 4th fret of that D string. And then we've made it a full octave right here at the end of measure 2. That's 1 octave. We're going to keep going and go all the way up another octave and then come all the way back down. So starting in measure 3, we're going to play the 2nd fret of the G string. Then we're going to go to our B string, play an open B string. And at this point, what I want you to do is we're going to shift down a fret. Okay, shift our fingers down a fret because we're going to need our index finger on the 1st fret of that B string. And then we're going to use our ring finger to play the 3rd fret. Then going into measure 4, open E string. Then 2nd fret, 3rd fret. Now that's 2 octaves. So whenever we hit that note up there, we're going to start coming back down. So we're going to come back down the exact same way that we went up, still using all downstrokes. So going into measure 5, we've got an open E string, then the 3rd fret on the B string, the 1st fret, open B string. At this point we're going to shift back and use our index finger to play the 2nd fret on the G string, then an open G string, then 4th fret, 2nd fret, open D string, measure 7, we're almost there, 3rd fret of the A string, 2nd fret, open A string, and then we're going to come to rest and measure 8 on our G string there. So all together it sounds like this. Now we're going to up the ante just a little bit. Now that we've learned our notes of the scale, if you need to pause the video and check that out, that's fine. But now we're going to add some alternate picking. Okay, so let's move to measure 9. This is the exact same notes that we've just played, except now they're 8th notes. Okay, and now we're going to switch off playing down and up strokes. This is very, very important. So now not only are we working on playing the scale, okay, for the scale's sake, we're also working on switching our pick strokes as we go through the strings. This is very important that you play the pick strokes exactly right. Your tendency is going to be, if you've never done this, to play 2 ups in a row as you move through the strings. We're not going to do that. We're going to take our time. We're going to play down, up, down, up, down, up, all the way through. So we're going to start down there again on the 3rd fret of the low E string with the downstroke. And then the next note's A string, we're going to do an upstroke. Then another down on the 2nd fret, then an up on the 3rd fret, then a down on the D string, up on the 2nd fret, down on 4th, up, an upstroke on the G string, downstroke on the 2nd fret, an upstroke on the open B string, down, up, downstroke on the E string, up, down. And at that point we've reached the top of the 2-octave scale. We're going to start coming back down with this upstroke on the 2nd fret. Now we're starting measure 11, down. Now this is where you really need to pay attention, because you're not going to naturally want to play an upstroke as you're going up the string. So you've got to make yourself do it, okay? So starting at the beginning of measure 11, down, up on the 3rd fret of the B string, down, up, and we're going to shift 2nd fret of the G string with the downstroke, up, open G, down, 4th fret, up, 2nd fret, down, open, up, 3rd fret of the A string, down, 2nd fret, up, opens A string, down on the last G string. Now let's try playing through it, measures 9 through 12, very slowly. Okay, and that's why I really encourage you to download the TEF files. I've got a video here on the site that shows you how to use those TEF files, because your computer will play those TEF files for you, and you can control the tempo, so you can set it very, very slowly and play along with it. But let's just try to do it together here. We're going to start on that low G string with the downstroke. And the most important thing is that we never do 2 downstrokes or 2 upstrokes in a row. We always alternate no matter what string we're going to. Okay, we're putting a lot together here. That's why it's important to pause these videos and work on it yourself. There's no way you can learn it from scratch at the speed that I have to teach it here. But let's try to play it slowly together. Ready, go. Down, up, 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 down. Now, in the next video segment, let's learn how to do the closed scale. What's cool about that one is we can transport it anywhere we want on the guitar. You automatically know every major scale there is.